What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Vocab Malone. Today's date is December 16th, Monday. It's 2019. It's about 6:05 here. Chilling in Phoenix, Arizona. I want to welcome you to the show Street Apologist Live. Copy. Yeah, the mic keeps on going. It wants to mute, then stop muting. So anyways, I heard about what we're talking about tonight right before I heard about the Jersey City shooting. So what we're going to be talking about tonight happened in October. And I apologize, this show has been moved around numerous times. It's probably the most moved around show that we've ever had to do, where I had to keep on, changing the date and changing the time. So I apologize for that. You guys on the street team and the meme team, I'm just kidding, and the social media team, and everybody that's part of the mod squad and the SA squad, all that stuff, man. You guys, shout out to you for being faithful and retweeting and relinking all that stuff. I really do appreciate you guys, and I'm sorry that this show kept on getting moved around. But what happened is, right before I heard about the Jersey City shooting, I heard about Larry Greene. The Jersey City shooting, for those who don't know, was very recently. 2 Black Hebrew Israelites went into the JC Kosher supermarket there in Jersey City, New Jersey, murdered 3 people on the scene, wound up dead themselves, murdered another police officer right before the shooting spree began, and a week before apparently had probably murdered a driver, not actually an Uber driver as sometimes said, but a different type of driver. And then I heard about this October thing right before that, but because of the Jersey City shooting thing, I was going to talk about this October thing I'm about to talk about right now, and I had to move it around, and so it just got moved around, and had to get moved around even today, because after tonight's show's over, I'm going to refresh myself, you know what I mean, get everything set up here again, such as my flavored Red Bull. Ain't that good, Justice? Ain't that good? Isn't that good? I didn't say you had to come here. Anyways, it's okay, buddy. Go sit back. Good boy. He's a good boy. See, he listens. So, dog distracted me. We're going to get into news. I'm going to do some deep analysis, okay? Yeah, flavored Red Bull, the white powder. What I do is I add a little of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of ice and Star Wars shapes, and then I take Tavalia flavors that you use for Italian sodas, and I pump some of those in there. I usually use the sugar-free kind, and so I can create my own flavor of Red Bull. Sometimes I call it infused Red Bull. Shout out to Mr. Phil Fox. Mr. Phil Fox, what do you think, brother, if we rename the SA Squad the Street Team? Because SA Squad is for Street Apologist Squad, but since it's called Street Apologist, it makes more sense to call it Street Team. So, brother, I'm thinking of recalling it the Street Team. Are you down to do that? Now, we still got the Mod Squad. That's the people who regulate, and then we got the Core. That's people who really regulate. Anyways, it looks like some of you guys actually aren't familiar with the first case I'm talking about. So before I get into Larry Greene, I'm going to briefly revisit this. And I encourage it to make sure son being delayed is so irritating. I encourage you, if you've not already seen it, to make sure that you go to David Wood's channel and watch the video I just dropped there that I'm going to redrop on my channel with a little bit of added features. No big deal. Working on that right now. It's going to pop off Wednesday. But that David Wood one is doing fantastic, and I encourage you guys to definitely check that out, because I really break down not only what happened with this Jersey City shooting, but also the reasons. And I try to give the Hebrew Israelites a fair shake on it, but I've been seeing the response videos. They're pretty upset. They think I'm, being mean and nasty, but I really don't think I am. I try to be fair, but I'm at the same time, I'm a polemicist type of apologist. So, yeah, I would come at them, but in a fair way by God's grace. All right, so check this out. Let me show you some updates here on the Jersey City joint first, okay? I'm going to show you that first. Here's the ADL's website, and they talk about it. The date it happened is December 10th. You guys can all see that on the screen. Make it a little larger so you can see it a little bit better. How's that sound? Right about there. Now, just so everyone knows what's going on, I'm a Christian apologist. I'm a researcher. My name is Vocab. I do live streams that usually run an hour and a half. I get into topics that people don't normally talk about in relationship to theology, comparative religions, and whatnot. And we have fun in this community. We make apologetics fun again. But one thing I focus on specifically is the cult of the Hebrew Israelites. And there was a shooting recently, so I'm going to tell you about this, as well as the main topic of the show tonight, which is Larry Greene, who threatened to stab 2 Jews to death. So a lot of this has to do with anti-Semitism is what we're talking about here. I'm going to talk about this one because I can tell some people don't know what they're talking about. All right, so here we go. So we got December 10th. 2 individuals, their names are David Anderson and Francine Graham. They killed a store's owner, an employee who actually was an Ecuadorian man, and the brother was an Assemblies of God parishioner. So that's a brother I believe we'll see in heaven. He's probably up there right now like, hey, you guys, don't worry about me, And one customer who's the son of an activist and a detective who left behind 5 children who was murdered across the street before the spree began, as well as most likely a driver from the week before. Okay, so now ADL has an entry here. They talk about them. They talk about Sakari. They talk about IUIC here, And then in their little entry on the Black Hebrew Israelites. So again, I'm on the ADL. That's the Anti-Defamation League. I don't agree with all of anything these organizations do. A lot of them get enamored with leftist politics, and I don't go there with them. But I certainly do go with them there and the fights against what people term extremism, terrorism, bigotry, and specifically anti-Semitism in this case. I do go with them there. But notice how they've included in their entry this, and this is what we're going to talk about tonight. So let me read that real quick. In Miami, in Florida, by the way, my grandparents, I've talked to them a little bit about, this is the kind of show it is. If you don't like it, sorry. I talked a little bit about my one side of my family, grandparents, the reason I sometimes wear a Buffalo Bills jacket is not because I really care about the Bills per se, but out of sentimental love or relationship to the Italian side of my family. Those grandparents, they love Buffalo Bills because they lived in a little place around there where a lot of Italians actually settled. And so sometimes you see me wear that kind of in allegiance to them because my grandma died last year, and it's just not the same, talking to her every Christmas, talking to her, visiting her in New York. So I wear that. But before that, she was in Miami. And so as a child, I spent a lot of time in Miami, Florida. We went there a lot in the summer where it was super hot, humid, and we went there a lot during Christmas where it never snowed, which was preparing me to live in Arizona, apparently. So I have interesting memories of Miami. It's an interesting city, very different than a lot of the United States. Very interesting. So I can kind of picture this a little bit from my childhood. I haven't been back in a long, long time, although they have a really dope zoo down there in Miami. So, anyways, side trail. Here we are, October 2010. 19. Larry Greene, who called himself Elijah Israel, who identified as a Black Hebrew Israelite, was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after allegedly assaulting 2 people as they were leaving a prayer service at a local synagogue. According to the arrest affidavit, Greene threatened to kill the victims with a knife, calling them fake Jews, and told them to go back to Israel. The case was treated as a hate crime. All right? So here we are. Yeah, hey, I appreciate that, Linda. You know, my grandma, she played the organ in the church till the day she died. Not literally. I'm exaggerating a little bit, okay. But she played that thing, man, as long as she could, you know. So this is what we're going to look at today is that. So let's take a look at some of these news reports in relationship to Larry Greene. And I am going to do some follow-up on the case that sparked a lot of this off. The place where I made the video for David Wood, the issue in regards to I made for David Wood. You guys know what I'm saying, even if I mess up sometimes. And all that's drawing attention to the fact of the anti-Semitic strand within certain aspects of Hebrew Israelism, all right? And so here we got this man claiming to be real son of God. I think by that means he's a real Jew. He's not saying he's the son of God, because Hebrew Israelites talk this way, by the way. Now, it said he's a homeless man, and I found that interesting. I could see if he's a homeless guy, you're out in the street, he's probably heard a lot of Hebrew Israelite teaching. You know what I'm saying? I doubt he's a part of a congregation, although he does keep a beard, it seems. It's crazy, though. I think he's like 67, or whatever. It's fascinating when people who are rather old be committing these wild crimes, But anyways, threatens Jewish men with knife. Police say Larry Greene accused of pulling knife. Wearing Jews in courtroom synagogue. All right, let's play some of this. I'm going to play a little bit of this. Does this news reporter have a quasi-resemblance to anybody we might know? I swear this looks like your cousin, D. New. I'm sorry. The minute I saw her, I was like, this looks like this could be D. New's cousin. I bet D. New has a cousin who looks like this news reporter. I'm sorry. So you can see, you get the vibe of Miami. Who's been down there in Miami? Who knows what's up in Miami? You guys been down there? You know what it's like? Oh, there it is. Trump probably had something to do with this. All right, I got you. You guys can't hear it. I'm going to turn up the audio right now. You'll be able to hear it, okay? I was just showing you the news report.
Here is that man's mugshot. The defendant is Larry Greene. His arrest form says he insisted to the two victims and officers that his Hebrew name is Elijah Israel. He was in Miami-Dade bond court today. Here he is appearing before a judge. Police say Greene insisted he was a real Jew and the son of God and called the victims fake Jews, hurling anti-Semitic insults and threatening to kill them with a knife. His arrest report says he yelled, "Go back." Are
you guys able to hear this or not?
Victims say Greene then raised a knife over his head.
Is there an echo? I need to know what's going on with this.
When police arrived and patted him down, they found the knife that the victims referenced, and both victims say they believe they were targeted specifically because of their faith. Statements in the arrest form also align with that claim. So Greene was arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and charged with a hate crime. And back out here live, court documents have Greene listed as homeless. Today, that Miami-Dade judge in bond court set his bond at...
So you're getting a sense of this. Now, if you're watching this video at a later date, I'm hoping that I'm allowed to play this part and they don't create a problem. I haven't usually had problems with that, but we'll see. We'll see if they have a problem with that. And you look over the side, the story is over here as well. Suspect in... Oh, wait, what is this? This is a synagogue shooting? Attempted murder. Wait a minute. This is totally different. I don't know what this is about. Huh. Okay. So just on the sidebar, I thought that this story that I just clicked on, I thought that it was when I just saw the sidebar, I thought it had to do with the story we were reading about. However, I wonder We don't know. We don't know anything about this guy. He's saying he's a suspect in a shooting of a synagogue. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this real quick. Usually, when we see these kinds of attacks against Jews in America, oftentimes it's white nationalists, okay? A lot of white nationalists, a lot of white supremacists, a lot of Christian identity, and yes, the KKK. We get a lot of that, right? Obviously, this guy doesn't fit the profile for any of those. Now, that does not mean he's a Hebrew Israelite automatically. We don't know. But I'm just stumbling upon this while I'm looking at this other one. It doesn't give any kind of reason. It doesn't say anything about that. We're going to have to find out about this. We're going to have to find out about this. Why did he do this? You don't just randomly, when you're driving by, open up fire on a synagogue unless there's a reason. So we're going to have to bookmark that and follow up on that, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. All right, but let's look at a little bit more here about Larry Greene. Okay.
2 people outside of a local synagogue. Police say the victims were attacked because of their faith. NBC6 reporter Arlene Borenstein is live on Sunny Isles Beach with the details. Arlene?
Jackie, you know, it's a time when the Jewish community usually celebrates a holiday called Sukkot, and this is when they celebrate.
Police say the victims were on Sunny Isles.
Usually celebrate.
I'm not going to look through the whole thing here.
It's going to be allowed. It's not going to be tolerated.
It was an act of hate that landed 66-year-old Larry Frankie Greene in front of a mic.
Yeah, that's what's bugged out. He's 66 years old, going around threatening to stab Jewish guys. Like, what's the deal, bro? Oh, hey. Chief Ephraim, would you be interested in coming on the show? I will talk to you about these issues. Meaning, I'm down to talk about these issues with you. To those who don't know, Chief Ephraim was at the center of a news story in January of 2019, which is really the first time a lot of people heard about the Hebrew Israelites. A lot of people had no clue until then. That was the whole situation with the Covington Catholic high school kids or whatever, and the Native American activists there at the pro-life rally. There was also, like the indigenous peoples celebration march. Both were happening, and then the Hebrew Israelites were there in the mix. So it was like a volatile, ideological cocktail just ready to blow up, right? And so anyways, Chief Ephraim was down there, you know what I mean? And he comes on every now and then. And I know how to talk, to people in a respectful way. And I would love to talk about the situations, the shooting and this, because Chief Ephraim is claiming it's fake news. Now, let's just be adults here. And I'm being serious. Chief Ephraim, here. I'm going to put your comment on the screen. Put your comment on the screen here. People should be able to see it. There's a lot happening on the screen, so I don't know. I'm leaving the news story up, and I'm just going to show this. So he says, here's what he says. By the way, his name of his camp is House of Israel. So he says, and he just so happens to be homeless, shaking my head, hashtag fake news again. Okay. So let's talk about this, Chief Ephraim. Let's talk about this a second. Like adults, in what way does someone being homeless mean that they could not have committed this crime? I truly don't understand. What are you saying here? What about the man being homeless makes it to where this is fake news? Because you're making a big deal about that. You're not explaining how that's relevant, Chief Ephraim. Now, you may say I'm just messing with somebody in the chat. First of all, this man was at the center of an important news story, number one. Number two, this man, he represents the viewpoint of a lot of Hebrew Israelites. In fact, here's another one. It looks like he doesn't. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Yaraban Yasharala. So he says he's a son of Israel. All right. So you're a son of Israel, Yaraban Yasharala. I'm going to ask you a question, okay? And the question is, how do you know this story is false? At least Chief Ephraim threw out some kind of random reason. He said he happens to be homeless. Now, I don't think Chief Ephraim can logically demonstrate that Larry Greene being homeless in any way militates against him being obsessed with the ideas of Hebrew Israelism, which includes first and foremost an anti-Semitic strand that results in a desire for revenge against these Jews for stealing our true identity. That's kind of the essence of the matter for you guys. So, Yara Ban Yasharala, you say this is false. This is stories from a few weeks ago. He's not an Israelite. Well, it's from about 2 months ago at this point, right? From October. I caught wind of it a little bit late, okay? But how do you know he's not an Israelite? He told the cops to call himself Elijah Israel. He threatened to stab 2 Jews, and he said the reasons why. So he said he was an Israelite, a black Israelite. So what are you talking about? Why is he not an Israelite? See, you guys say stuff. I'll give you a chance to give you a reason. I've waited for Chief Ephraim to respond, and I'm waiting for you, Yaraban Yasharallah, to respond. What's false about this story? And if you guys are going to tell me the Jersey City shooting was fake news, that the people involved were paid actors, I got a question. What kind of person would take a movie role knowing that when the gun goes bang, it's going to be filled with real bullets and it'll be their last role ever? What I mean by that is, you guys are telling me, I hear a lot of you say that the Jersey City shooters were actors paid, right? What, to go die? It makes no sense. What is this, The Crow? Okay, Chief Ephraim, it's okay if you don't want to come on, but would you please at least do me the honor, the service of letting me know whether you're saying yes or no? If you don't, I respect that. I'm not going to call you a name or nothing. I don't do that. But will you just at least let me know? Because I'll stop inviting you on when I see you show up in the live chat. But I would like to know, are you interested or not? The Skype is at Vocab Malone, and I'd be willing to talk to you about this, and you could express your viewpoint. You say, obviously, he's not part of a camp. Yes, you're probably right about that. So, again, I'm a fair person. I try to be, and if I don't, I try to apologize. Chief Ephraim saying, most likely he's not part of a camp. I agree. It's almost certain he's not a camp member, right? Obviously, he's not part of a camp. He's homeless. Yes, he is homeless. Now, Chief Ephraim, you know very well, because you've been a Hebrew Israelite a long time, you know very well there's been homeless members as part of some of these camps, at least transient, and yes, sometimes people without permanent residence. Sometimes the situation gets rectified or not. You know for a fact there's even certain camps, I'm not going to say any names here because I'm not about embarrassing people, who have been homeless for long stretches of time and still have went to camp and done the whole routine. So it's not impossible. However, it does seem likely this person specifically is not part of a camp. We agree on that. And he said brothers in camps would have had this brother off the streets. And it's super old. Okay, 2 months old is not super old. I didn't hear about it. You know why I didn't hear about it? Because I'm not a government agent, unlike a lot of your co-religionists claim. So I don't get secret information fed to me by the government or anything. I have to do the digging, the research. People send me stuff. So I didn't hear about this until just now, basically. You know what I mean? I heard about it right before the Jersey City joint. And so I see this. Now you're saying brothers would have had him off the streets. Maybe. But I'll tell you something, man. You act like you guys take care of each other. But I'll tell you what. What I've noticed is if somebody, drops the doctrine, you guys drop them real quick. And then you bring up all the ways you helped them. I've seen you guys play this game where you do help somebody, and then when they drop the doctrine, you drop them, and then you bring it up how you lent them a car and they wrecked it, or you fixed their sink, and I have heard this firsthand. So yeah, your guys' help is not without strings attached. It is definitely not NSA, you know what I'm saying? And super old is not two months, bro. And how is it fake news? So, Surreal Gamer says you are a government agent. Okay. Do you have any evidence for that? Real Gamer. And then we got GMS Contrition is Key. Would you like to come on? I will talk to you about this as well, if you're willing to come on. Vocab, you are not fair. You are a liar and very misleading. In what way am I misleading the people? You'll notice anytime I see hardcore racist comments or where people come in here with super negativity against you guys, for the most part, if I catch it, I tell people to get rid of it. And D New and Rox B and Nate, my people, Carm, they know that's true. Chief Ephraim says the New Jersey incident had nothing to do with us. Okay, Chief Ephraim, yes, it had nothing to do with your camp specifically. But listen, Chief Ephraim, let me just get closer here in the camera and look at you directly. Chief Ephraim, I've heard your rhetoric, man. I've seen what you say. When I covered your guys' situation there in January in Covington with all the foul stuff, unbiblical, ungodly, wicked, nasty, perverted stuff you were saying to those kids, who, by the way, need Jesus, because if they're counting on Mary and the Pope, they ain't going to get them. But you weren't helping, you know what I'm saying, either. But I listened to all the stuff you and your guys have said. And you were talking to other people besides those Covington kids, and you were saying bloodlust stuff. You're a man who lusts for blood, my friend. I've heard you talking about bashing people's brains so there's blood left all over their skateboard, including their gray matter. This is the type of stuff you say. I've heard you for hours on end. I could come up with some insults, but I'm going to tell you, man, I'd probably be hard-pressed to insult people with the level of murderous violence type rhetoric that you did for 3 or 4 hours that fateful day. So that was impressive in a way, but it shows out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. So Chief Ephraim, you come on here saying, oh, that had nothing to do with us. Yes, Larry Greene wasn't in the house of Israel. And yes, David Anderson and Francine Graham were most likely affiliated with the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, whom I know you think are probably heretics, but they're still your fellow Black Hebrew Israelites. But listen, Chief Ephraim, your rhetoric is the same thing. And so I'm going to say something I said in that video. When you fantasize, fetishize, and glamorize violence against Jews and other people long enough, don't be surprised when it becomes actualized. Okay? You can't condemn what happened in Jersey. I know you won't condemn it. I know you won't say that man was wrong. You might say he was out of order. You might say he should have obeyed the laws of the land. Something like that. But you're not going to say it's wrong to kill Jews. You'll just say it doesn't benefit you or something. Because I've heard ISUPK's reaction to this. I've heard you guys' reaction. I can read through the PC nonsense. You guys are trying to get pretty good at learning how to craft media-savvy statements. People don't realize this. The Hebrew Israelites are getting crafty out there. I've seen their statements. I know how to read between the lines. A lot of folks don't, and that's not because they're not smart. It's just they don't know how much trickery is going on, how much conniving is going on out here in these streets. So listen, somebody want to come on and tell me directly, hey, what's up, San Miguel? Drop your piece, bro. Tell me what's going on with this, because y'all can't really condemn this. Y'all can't really condemn this. You know we don't teach violence. That's a lie, man. You do teach violence, GMS, Contrition is key. You just don't teach violence yet. You just teach not yet. So you know what? Don't come on here lying, man. Show a video where we said to do that to Jewish people. Are you kidding right now? I could show 1,000 videos of your camp members lusting about the day when you finally get to do it in the kingdom. Now, you don't say do it right now. You're right. But you do say to do it, just not yet. Yeah, see, Chief Ephraim is confirming exactly what I said. Chief Ephraim, I literally just said what you were going to say. Obviously, you're not listening carefully. The true Israelite's supposed to wait on the Most High. See, the game is up with you guys. You don't condemn murder. You just condemn doing it too soon. It's called jumping the gun, literally. You guys are so see-through. You're so paper thin like that old MC Light song. And I see right through it, and I know what's going on, and the jig is up. Now let's keep on playing this since nobody clearly wants to come on. Play this right here. Play this the Larry Greene situation we're talking about.
Judge. Prosecutors describing a chilling scene against members of the Jewish community in Sunny Isles Beach after they left a synagogue Monday night.
The defendant raised the knife over his head, made threats to kill them, and lunged at one of the victims with the knife, raising imminent fear of death.
According to police documents, Greene, a homeless man, approached two men wearing yarmulkes on the 18,000 block of Collins Avenue and began threatening the men with a knife.
One of the victims stated that he personally felt he would have tried to kill me or any other Jewish person.
It's not going to be tolerated.
It was an act of
fear of death.
According to police.
And basically, we cut off any issues before they arise.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
All right. Now, to the Hebrew Israelites out there, if you think it's fake, you know, it makes it fake that this guy was older or homeless, then why would they report that if they're trying to, like, you know, if they're trying to make this secret thing? Why don't they just, you know, why would they include that? You know, if it ruins if it ruins it or something, you know what I mean? No. See, so here's where we're just going to agree. So some of you guys don't understand the fine line I have to straddle. Some of you guys don't understand the fine line I have to straddle. To the person who's saying, declare BHI as terrorists and start rounding them up. No. That's not right. That's not fair. That's not what I'm about. That ain't what we do. That's not the way to do this. Let me explain something to everybody here. If we start thinking that way, then we are giving license to the government to do this to any group that becomes politically incorrect at the moment. And the government's not a good job. They don't do a good job at making distinctions. The government will use this as excuses to ride up with people's ideologies they don't like. Not only that, there's something called freedom of conscience, religious liberty in this country, as well as freedom of speech that I think is very fundamental to this republic. So if we start rounding people up just for the ideas they hold, we are out to lunch as a society. No. We got to stay principled in this fight, folks. We got to stay principled, okay? The government is doing what the government does. I'm an apologist, okay? My interest is not telling the government what to do or not to do, but at the same time, I have recommendations. I'll put it that way, right? I'm not a politician. I'm an apologist. That's not the way to go. We should not round up all Muslims and say you're all terrorists, because they're not. All Hebrew Israelites aren't. It's such a small minority of Hebrew Israelites who would do these kinds of things. Now I know I show them because I specialize in this, people. But Larry Greene and David Anderson, they are a minority. Now, the fact is they exist, okay? But they are a minority within a minority. And I recognize that. Now, I think these attacks are going to grow, but they're going to be people who are probably lone wolves because most of the camps won't associate with this. So I just hope you guys hear what I'm saying. This is a fine line we've got to walk. But you know what? Truth takes some thinking, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? And I want to see you guys really put your mind into this as we discuss these things, because this is not going to be the last time. Now or never. Time him out. I'm irritated by you coming here calling me names while I'm trying to make a serious point. I'm actually defending you right now in your fake religion, and you're going to come here talking trash like that about me. I'm just not with it right now. I'm not okay with it. So go ahead and get timed out, and you're dangerously close to getting permanently pieced out, homie. I'm just saying, man. All you come in here to do is flirt with the Christian girls, say you're going to take them on fancy trips, and insult me, and don't listen to anything, and never have a good response to anything. You know what I mean? So I disagree with the sentiment on the screen, and I believe that was good. All right, to respond to that, because I know some of you folks think that way. That is not good. So here's one of these stories, Notice, it doesn't even say Black Hebrew Israelites. So people are like, oh my gosh, they're trying to paint us with a picture. A lot of the news doesn't even say what's going on because they don't understand it. This guy just says anti-Semitic fringe movement. That could be anybody, right? That could be white nationalists, white supremacists, right? Could be some crazy Anglo-Israelites out there with weapons, right? Be anything. Here they interview a scholar. Okay. It is what it is. It's interesting, I don't know if you guys ever know this. I didn't bring this up. Now I'm going back to, let me explain. This show moves fast, and I'm a little bit of stream of consciousness type of dude. Check it out. Break it down real quick. I was talking about Larry Greene, the stabber in Miami, who didn't get anybody by God's grace, probably because he's a little slow. Notice he lunged at him. He was trying to get somebody, right? Time MOA wraps out. Please, time him out. I'm not putting up with this tonight. Time him out. Okay? Fred Sanford. Chief Ephraim, why don't you come on? If you're going to be there, you got all this to say. I don't know why you don't come on. I know you're brave. I've seen what you do. Come on. Hey! Exactly. So David Woods in the live chat, Act 17 Apologetics, and usually he comes in speaking meaningless drivel, but this time he's brought a fair point. David, by spending a lot of time with me, has understand these guys. Besides, David's a quick study, in all sincerity. David's a quick study. He's a smart guy. He knows how to pick up things real fast. So he's kind of already got the gist of it. If David Wood wanted to be an apologist in relation to Hebrew Israelites, he could pull it off. You know what I'm saying? He's got the ability, right? But he leaves that dirty work to me. He does Islam. I help him with Islam. We help each other. And he gets it. And I've learned a lot about Islam by being around him, obviously. But he's making a great point, and this is what it is. Hebrew Israelite leaders have spent years filling people's heads with dreams of a bloodbath. That statement is absolute fact when it comes to one Westers. Absolute fact. It's a matter of time before one of these leaders says the time is now, then bloodbath. Now, what he's saying is something we have been worried about. Adam and I were talking about this the other day, Adam Coleman. If one of these leaders switches or you get a new kind of camp that says, you know what, no more waiting, it's gonna be extra lame. I'll just try to do an understatement there, right? Right now, it's just these stragglers on the end, you know what I'm saying? But David could be right. That could happen. I hope it doesn't. I hope it does. We pray for that. Okay. All right, but back to this. Now, I was talking about Larry Greene. Now, I'm back to the Jersey City thing because it was brought up, and I'm intertwining these, okay? I'm weaving them together, showing you the common threads. And this is David Anderson's account. He most certainly was a Hebrew Israelite. Listen to the Instagram account words, okay? Apparently, Malone Anderson shows he was an inspiring rapper. I've heard his raps, by the way, whose posts include at least one reference to Black Hebrew Israelite philosophy. He didn't have that many posts, so that's just has to do with how many he posted. He didn't really post a lot. A list of the 12 tribes of Israel from the Bible, with not really from the Bible. The tribes are from the Bible. The list are from Ariah's imagined invention that he actually ripped off from Abba Bivens. But nonetheless, with each tribe equated to a modern-day ethnic group or country. That's funny. They picked up on that. Sometimes it's got ethnic groups, and then other times it's got geographical locations. It's funny, even though the news is able to pick up on the silly inconsistencies of that stupid 12 tribes chart. I love it. America has nothing for us but death, a caption on one of his posts read. By the way, a lot of people feel that way. But what this man was saying is, hey, I'm going to bring it back to him. You know? The account went dormant a few years ago. Now check this out. This is just a real quick follow-up here. And I'm showing you how they're tying these stories in together. On Wednesday, the FBI searched the Harlem headquarters of a major Black Hebrew Israelite group, according to law enforcement official who's not authorized to discuss the case. You see what I got highlighted. That's why I could mumble through it. It's on the screen. You guys can multitask. You're smart adults. Hey, check this out. At first, when I saw this, I thought it was fake news, okay? I thought that somebody was looking at when the FBI did raid the Harlem offices of the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, which Adam and I have a video where we talked to those guys at that location on 1941 Madison in Harlem. At first, I thought it was fake news, and I thought some dumb reporter was conflating what happened like a year and a half ago or whenever that was to right now and putting it all together and getting it jumbled up. But then I found out that it was accurate, that the FBI re-raided the Harlem offices of the ICGJC. That's the camp with which Anderson and Graham were affiliated with. So it looks like they went back. Now, it had to be for something different, right? Because, see, you have a situation where earlier it was because of Comfy Tazadakia and his nonsense with tax evasion and ripping people off, right? This is different because Comfy's about to get sentenced in January. He's probably going to go away for a while because he's already pled guilty, right? So check this out. My guess is the FBI is like scrambling and they're like realizing, so they have some evidence they have not fully disclosed because they have not given their full reasons for how they know it's the ICGJC, right? And talk about hurting an already ailing target. The ICGJC is not doing too well right now. And the other groups know it. They smell blood in the water. They're sharks. They're going to come get the leftovers and the scraps, you know what I'm saying? So we got the situation, right, where they go back. My guess is they're like, well, let's see, since they were at the ICGJC, maybe this is like quasi-terrorists, not just tax evaders. Let's see what's going on over there. So they probably grabbed whatever they could, whatever. My guess is these folks are kind of wise enough now to not really have a lot of important documents at their offices since their FBI likes to bring out boxes of papers from their offices, you know what I mean? And then notice how they tie this in together. In October, a self-proclaimed Black Hebrew Israelite charged assaulting two people leaving a prayer service at Synagogue in Miami, according to ADO. The defendant, Larry Greene, threatened to stab the worshippers to death, calling them fake Jews and told them to go back to Israel. ADO said citing arrest affidavit. All right, so you see that? So they're putting these two together. Now, I just saw this right before I went live. I'm gonna bring this up now. Yeah. Hey, David, the Chief Ephraim guy is the guy who's at the center of the situation that happened with the Covington kids in January. He was the main guy. The cat there from Brooklyn. I think he's a Puerto Rican cat. I think he used to rap too, if I'm not mistaken. But he's the main guy who's up in there quoting stuff and like that. But he won't come on. Hey, what's up, Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, aka Divine Prospect, aka Ron Shields. Shout out to you. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's kind of what I thought you were going to say. It's fine. Okay, I just saw this. So I'm going to take a look at this right now. Because I actually don't know what's in this one. So this is new. And I think this is fascinating. Look at this. This is brand new, okay? This was literally, look at 12 minutes ago. So right before I went live, I found this. Hidden handcuff keys found on bodies of Jersey City attack suspects. This is crazy. This is crazy. It has not come out the full extent to which David Anderson prepared for this attack, ladies and gentlemen. I was reading reports that they took apart bulletproof vests and lined the van that they drove, the walls with it, and it was like reinforced in there. They basically made the van bulletproof. Now, it doesn't seem like they had a full plan worked out, but as far as equipment, it looks like it was worked out. They had a way to catch casing cells. They had the silencer, which they probably used to kill the Uber driver, but he wasn't really an Uber driver. But the guy they're calling, I think he was a livery driver to be specific. Okay, so this is just going down right now. But they had all kinds of stuff. They had 5 or 6 weapons on them, shotguns, AR-15 style rifles. Like, so they were wanted to be a lot more. It still was like a 2 or 3 hour shootout. But 4 people murdered, 6 total left dead. Another one if you count.
Good morning, I'm Storm.
No. I don't want to hear the weather. I don't care about the weather in Jersey. It's probably horrible. Probably smells like outhouse there. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to insult you guys. I'm just messing around. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Okay, but let's look at this. This is unbelievable, though. Both had handcuff keys hidden on their bodies when they were searched after the prolonged bloodshed. The JC's kosher supermarket ended. That's bizarre. Isn't that, I mean, this is bizarre, right? I mean, so we are still finding out stuff. Now, have you guys seen this footage? I'm going to show it here in a second. This is from NBC New York. I'm going to show some of this here in a second in case you haven't seen it. This is not from Larry Greene. Now, I'm going back and forth from Larry Greene to the other situation, okay? The situation of, that's the Attorney General talking. I'm going back and forth from the Larry Greene situation, which is the stabbing. And the reason is because I wanted to talk about that. Here's the footage. Watch this. So here he is, gets out of the van. She gets out of the passenger side and comes behind. And notice she's not really shooting. She's just scurrying along. I'm going to show that one more time, actually. Because I want to show you something. If you watch closely, there's a shadow underneath his legs. And you can tell he doesn't have pants because there's like something around his knees. He clearly has on camp garments on. I'm going to make the screen bigger. I want you guys to see this in case you have not seen this yet. I showed this in the video with David, but I want you to see it again. This is very important. He was wearing some kind of camp Hebrew Israelite garments when he did this. Now notice, you see how Francine's body language, she has an unconfident gait versus his steady stream of walking right to it, and he starts firing right away. You notice. I just want you to watch it. The whole thing's fascinating. And it's almost humorous in a macabre kind of way that you've got him parking in an open parking spot. It's almost like he was like, let me not be too rude. I'm going to park here. That way people can still go around me in traffic. Don't want to create any problems when I go murder these Jews. I mean, I know I'm not trying to make light of it because obviously this is tragedy. I've been talking about it. But it's funny if you watch, he like actually goes to look for open space. You know what that shows? I know this could sound weird, but that I think this guy was probably a decent guy who got caught up. This ideology is damaging to people, especially the One West variety. All right? Watch this. So, watch slow. You see it? So he gets out real fast. See the shadow? He's clearly wearing garments, shooting right away. And she's not even firing. She's just like, all right, so they're talking about it there. I'm not playing the sound, by the way, right now. Oh! Whoa! I'm going to let this video play, but I'm looking at a comment right here. Huh. Oh, wait. Never mind. Okay. I misread something. I was about to go ham, as they say. I misread something. That's good. Okay. That's all right. David, are you serious, bro? Your dad kept a handcuff key on him at all times? I'm sorry. That's like... Okay, there it is again. Watch. So you can learn a lot from this little bit of security footage. You know what I mean? And you can even see that guy barely escape. I guess he pushed through the door. And if you notice, a couple shots come out firing out from afterwards. That is actually kind of funny. Your dad had a handcuff key on him at all times. Like, that's super hilarious. I'm sorry. So there's a picture of David Anderson. I'm interacting with the chat while I look at this. And the reason I went into this specifically, notice, well, again, boom, 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 they're running. Francine Graham. They said, everyone who knew her is shocked. They said, look, it's riddled with bullet holes. That's the front of the store. They said that they never would have expected this of her, everybody who ever knew her. And ironically, they said once she hooked up with him, she stopped paying her rent. So this is wild. Now, again, I started the show talking about Larry Greene, the Hebrew Israelite down in Florida who attempted to stab 2 Jewish men as they were leaving, right? That's the livery driver who was murdered by them almost certainly. Don't know the reason why on that one. And there they are. At 1 West Bonnie and Clyde, ladies and gentlemen. 1 West Bonnie and Clyde. So what we go down, I'm probably going to stop this. I don't know what they're doing. What else are they talking about in here? They're just showing boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. News people, news people, news people, news people, news people. Okay. The reason I went into this is because of the fact of what it talks about, the fact that they had a handcuff key hidden on them. All right, that was what was most fascinating. That they had a handcuff key.
Memorial for Douglas McGill to the U.S. to create a better.
So this is in the news now. Oh, it looks like they're inspecting the white van they found. I wonder who that gentleman is. Now let me say something here. While we're looking through all this, I've seen some right-wing type of media say that the left, the mainstream media, has stopped reporting on this when they found out it was Black Hebrew Israelites because it, quote, didn't fit the narrative or something like that. Now, it is true I saw some silliness by, what's her name, Rashid Tlaib, I forget her name. I did see some silliness by her. Okay, I'm going to look at you guys for a second. Where she, said that, oh, look what white supremacy does, right? I did see that. Okay? Meaning, I saw some people jump to the conclusion that this must have been white supremacists. Okay? I saw some people do that. However, I don't know if I'm clearly explaining it because I really am multitasking here. I'm looking through the chat. I'm thinking what I'm going to say. I'm thinking what I'm going to do next, everything. Okay? Thanks, David, for the details there. Appreciate that. Make sure you look at that comment, Nate. Not sure if you already saw it. Yeah, I figured you would say something about that, Nate. So, the deal is, all black is not black says, show pictures of all the white Catholic pedophiles. Oh, you're gross. All black is not black. Why would you want me to do that? Ooh. Guys, this guy's got some kind of weird fetish. This guy's gross. All black is not black says, show pictures of all the white Catholic pedophiles. Why would you want me to show pictures of white Catholic pedophiles? Are you into that? Pictures of pedophiles? Weirdo, man. Gross. Ugh. I might have to time that guy out. But in all seriousness, I've seen some people, right, complaining. You know what I'm saying? Saying like, once the mainstream media found out it was Black Hebrew Israelites, they stopped reporting on it. I don't think so. Now, interestingly enough, I saw a lot of Hebrew Israelites complain. They were complaining, saying, "Yo, all they're doing, right, is reporting that these are Hebrew Israelites are trying to paint us with a bad picture." So the Hebrew Israelites think it's like a conspiracy, right, that's going on, where, you know what I'm saying, you just got a situation where all they're doing is pointing out Hebrew Israelites, right? That's what the Hebrew Israelites think. And then the right-wing news media thinks, oh, they're not reporting on it at all. I don't think so. I've seen them report on it enough. I think the news media has done a decent job. Not as good as they could have, because I have low standards, okay, for the news media. But I think they've done a decent job. I said decent job, okay, covering this. based upon a very low expectation, okay? Compared to usual, a decent job, okay? I'm just saying. So let's go look through this, because I thought this is very important. Now I'm back to the Jersey City shooting, okay? We're going to go back to Larry Greene in a second here. I think I got one other thing on him. But notice this. Ex-wife of New Jersey shooter says, earlier life showed no signs of later violence and extremism. So here's a woman who lives in Atlanta who was married to him, and she was shocked by this. That's not the David I knew. And so, look at this. Wasn't a flashy person. He's an ex-serviceman. I thought he was a nice-looking guy. He made me laugh. This means this guy had a sense of humor. He was a funny guy. Now, they weren't married very long. It's hard when you're in and out of the service, you know. But he had skills. He was a maintenance guy, electronics tech. She was, so that, you know, talented. So smart guy. You know, see this? See what kind of stuff? Apparently, he built a pipe bomb. You know, he set up the vehicle. It appears he was a decent shot. One or two people holding off a bunch of cops for that long. I mean, I'm not trying. I'm just saying this guy's talent got wasted. It's very unfortunate, right? And look, he did hip hop back then. But look, he wrote songs, but they weren't about money or fancy cars. Nothing questionable. It's just about him growing up in Jersey. Meaning he was rapping, but he was like basically a clean rapper. He's like a chill guy. This is David Anderson. This is before he heard about Hebrew Israelism. He would just sit around the apartment and read it, talking about the Bible he would carry around. He wasn't like a Bible pusher. So it wasn't, you know, all pushy or whatever, but he was cool. Now, this is interesting. For fun, they went to movies, ate with friends, and attended frequent German festivals, complete with bratwurst, schnitzel, and beer. So maybe she's German background. We don't know much about Kathleen. We don't have her last name. Kathleen could be any kind of name, right? Don't know why. You know, was that a big thing in Jersey or wherever they lived at the time? Oh, they were in Germany. I'm stupid, of course. That makes sense. They were in Germany at the time because they were in the service. Okay, but he was, you know, having beer and brats there. Whatever. Eventually, it didn't work out. They got divorced. And occasionally, they would check in. But she is shocked here by everything that happened after that. But apparently, he had some domestic issues later on in Kent, Ohio. I've been to Kent. I did a show with my man Jonathan Scales later on. But again, to reiterate, one of his Instagram accounts, because people were doubting this guy, it went dormant, but back in January 2015, look what he's saying. You've already seen part of this quote, but I'm going to show you the rest. Revelations. Now, not trying to make fun of a guy who's no longer with us, but it's revelation to all the Hebrew Israelites. In the Bible, there's no plural on this, okay? 1:13-15, Jesus comes from the tribe of Judah. Now, that's true. Jesus does come from the tribe of Judah. Amen. He does come from the tribe of Judah. Now, you guys probably understand, why is he saying that? What would that mean to him as a Hebrew Israelite? And I want to say one other thing real quick, but let me just turn there while you're trying to think about that, how that's even relevant. Yeah. Here's what's interesting about this. Revelation 1:13-15 is a good verse if it's used properly, right? Number one. Number two, Jesus does come from the tribe of Judah. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Revelation 1:13-15 doesn't say Jesus comes from the tribe of Judah, meaning he does come from the tribe of Judah. I'm just looking at this verse he posted. It just shows the mistakes these guys make. I make mistakes too. No one's perfect, right? We get that. But I'm going to read you Revelation 1:13-15 in the KJV. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brasses that they burned in furnace, and his voice is the sound of many waters. It doesn't say anything about the tribe of Judah there. Now, other parts in the Bible, in Revelation, do say it came from the tribe of Judah. Maybe he's saying because of the way he looked, supposedly. But it's just interesting that it's not exactly put together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, knockers better wake them up before it's too late. On one Facebook page that's thought to belong to Anderson under the name the Wada Makwabath. That is the Lashwan Kodash name. That is their specific invented linguistic dialect of Hebrew that they've invented, where all the vowel sounds, except for some, make the ah sound, okay? So you see, Dawada Makwabeth. Hey Joel, I appreciate that, but I would need to talk to you first. I don't know who you. I appreciate what you being here, and I appreciate your experience, but I don't know you unless I'm mistaken, and I've never met you, and you're coming on the middle saying, out of respect for the dead, let me on the show right now. don't be pushy, please. Just if you want to talk to me later, talk about this, maybe we could do it. Live chat. Not feeling you guys tonight. Dwight Powder. The meme you are quoting is racist. Maybe you don't know it, but it's a racist trope that we do not appreciate here. And I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you don't know the origin of the "we was kangs" meme, but I'm going to time you out. Time out Dwight Powder. To the mods, anytime you see someone coming in with the "we was kangs," they're gone. Give them one warning, but usually you just get rid of them. I'm going to assume, Dwight Powder, you don't know what it's from, but we're going to keep a careful eye on you because that's a racist trope that makes fun of something we're not making fun of and in a way that's inappropriate. So, Dwight Powder, you need to be timed out. Delete that comment. And then all black is not black. Let's just block him from the channel. I'm not going to put up with that today. I gave you a chance, man. You are out. You are out. Let's go ahead and get rid of all black is not black. Peace out. All right. I was trying to be polite. Like polite. It's funny. Okay. So, anyways, the Wadamakwabeth. You know what I'm saying? No, Joel, you didn't. I was just saying. We're Kimberlyn Frankenberry. See, that's what I'm saying. The Wakanda thing, too, I don't like. I don't like when I'm talking about Hebrew Israelites and people bring up Wakanda. Okay, you guys distracted me, but we got to do this. When I'm going to be very blunt right now. When especially white people start saying in any relationship to a black issue online, Wakanda, oh, they watched Wakanda and thought it was real, or any of that kind of stuff, almost always I find it offensive. The reason is you're saying, look at this fancy movie, these folks are so silly and ignorant. They saw this, and it's like you're also kind of making fun of what Black Panther meant in Wakanda, and I'm not with all that. My chair is a Black Panther chair. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not going to show you when I have guests in the studio, they sit on a Black Panther chair, okay? I just got oil all over my hands from that. You know, there's oil grease in the bottom of those chairs. Maybe you don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I do. I don't like the "we was kang" stuff, and I don't like the Wakanda stuff when it's done in a mocking way. So keep that stuff out of the channel. We're not going to, every time there's an issue, just because the person is black or something like that, is not some excuse to make fun of them being black. I'm not in apologetics for that reason, okay? To bash folks because of some kind of ethnic reason. I'm in it for truth because I care about people in the community. And I don't want any bigotry clinging on to me. Know what I'm saying? So no Wakanda jokes, okay? And no "we was kangs" jokes in here, people. Okay? And if you're okay, if you're okay with that, that's fine. Just keep it to yourself, to be honest. Because I see a lot of racism on the internet, and I get tired of it. I see a lot. When I try to deal with Hebrew Israelites and I'm trying to really reach out, yeah, I'll go hard. Because I care about them. I'll go hard, but it's because I love them. I don't sit around making fun of cultural elements or stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This isn't about making fun, all right? This isn't about making fun of folks' culture or something like that, you know, and how they look. I just get tired of all the racist stuff when I'm trying to just do apologetics on the internet. Okay, back to this. The author's info said tool of TMH, tool of the Most High. TMH can refer to God or the Most High. All right, see that? I know what it's from, Jen. You're misunderstanding, Jen. Okay. There's nothing wrong with Wakanda. That's not what I'm saying, everybody. What I'm saying is when we're discussing an issue relating to an apologetic issue that has to do where someone involved is black or something like that, right? When a white person or an unsympathetic bystander comes in and starts making jokes about the person, of their ideology in relationship to some Wakanda, comment, you guys don't understand that it's an offensive thing. It minimizes what Wakanda kind of symbolized in a very positive way. You know what I'm saying? And it tries to put that on people in a way that I don't think is helpful to the conversation. Even if I can't fully explain it, just cut it out. if you say Wakanda's dope and rock a dope Wakanda shirt, that's cool. I'm not saying don't know Wakanda. I'm saying know Wakanda in a mocking way. I just showed you my Black Panther stuff. Anyways, the Black Hebrews like movements. Okay. I'm not going to read all of this part. This is just the interview with the ex-wife, okay? And look what she says. You know, he's got people who cared about him, this man. See what I'm saying? So that hurt too, she said. It was hurtful all the way around. I hate that, how his life ended. Or that's a place in his mind that he was at. I guess that's a troubling part for me because I'm still in shock from just knowing that it was him. Graham. This is going to be lame. I don't really know what kind of... This is going to look stupid for me to put this search, but I know there's a story where I was trying to find about... Yeah. There you go. See, it's funny that I put stupid search, but look at this. For those who knew New Jersey shooter Francine Graham, deadly rampage brings shock. Apparently, she was also nice. Look, Edwin Lopez, who would see her when he would walk his dog, would say she was good people. She worked at a health center ran by the Catholic Church. All of her employers liked her. Her neighbors liked her. Do you see this? It brought complete bafflement. That was not the Francine that I knew, said Estelle Rodriguez, who for 4
Jarring
decades...
new surveillance video shows the moment when two...
who 4 decades ago moved to the 19th floor. Hey, shout out to Dr. Funny. Appreciate it. Sometimes, guys, some of the stuff I get on you for is stuff that some of you maybe don't understand. Could be taken the wrong way. And so I'm just trying to keep everything cool. If you know what I mean? And sometimes some of you guys have bad intentions, and I don't know what's what. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up to K-Dub? Everybody subscribe to K-Dub. Check out his channel. We were like family. She was always a loving girl. This is talking about Francine Graham. Her life went downhill when she met this guy. It's horrible. And look at this. We are stunned that an individual who was once associated with our ministry was involved in such a senseless and tragic act. That's the employer there, the Catholic Cardinals, talking about that. But when she hooked up with Anderson, looked like he was mad at the world all the time. Now notice the change from the ex-wife to there. Yeah, he may have fallen on hard times, but also, guess what? He got into Hebrew Israelism. That's the other problem. I was shocked it was here. Notice every single person is shocked because she really wasn't like this. If she was drugged into this, I don't know if she fully understood. She's going to die. I was shocked it was her who lives across the street, apartment Graham, one share with Anderson. She didn't seem like the kind of person, but him, I didn't know him. He's always stood by the fence and he would stare out and look like he was mad at the world the whole time. And look, her neighbor broke her hip, and Francine Graham would come over and ask if she needed any help with anything. Just come over to the door and let her know. Do you see this? She's a sweet lady. She turned into a murderer. Now, I don't know if she pulled the trigger that killed anybody, because clearly he's the one with the military background. But do you guys see this? You see this? Oh, man. She's always friendly, nice when I saw her. Yes, there was that weirdo that moved in with her. Life went downhill. She's always been talking about, I need a boyfriend, I want a boyfriend, it's so hard for me to get one. So this is the key. Ladies, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm telling you this right now. No matter how lonely you are, it is not worth it to get involved with a Hebrew Israelite man. I have never heard a good story that comes out of that. And look what happened to her. Look at this. Do you see these quotes? I encourage you guys to go read this. Look, people who loved her are distraught. They can't eat, disappointed, disbelief, prayed to go to sleep. I was so hurt. Francine Graham had a lot of people who loved her and cared about her. She got involved with this guy, cut off, and that was that. It's horrible. Shout out to the live chat. I saw, was it Connor? Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Shout out there, man. Shout out to the live chat, man. Shout out to Eddie. Hey, look, Eddie, you're typing in non all caps for the first time. Eddie always types in all caps. One day I want you to tell me, Eddie, is that your real profile picture? I wonder what you really look like, bro. Is that you? And shout out to Liza. How you doing? Shout out to Dino. Yeah. What's up, Dr. Funny? Yeah. Hey, Ozzy Fingers, how you doing? We met in Chicago. Now, Ozzy Fingers, I've seen you a couple times say some messed up stuff about me online since we met. Whatever, it is what it is. But I still, enjoyed meeting you and appreciated our conversation. Now, I want to show you guys this. Since we've come out with this video that came out on Act 17 channel, Act 17 Apologetics, I want to show you some of the results from the Hebrew Israelites on YouTube. Okay? Because I'm going to filter these and show you, hey, we got 130 people watching. Why is it giving me problems here? I just want to show you a couple things here, okay, guys? Why is this so delayed? There's some other videos coming up, by the way. You guys see those? And Mr. Phil Fox, thank you for the super chat. I look forward to getting your Christmas gift, by the way. Hey. Shout out to Renzo. All right, let's see. Let's just look at today. Man, something is going on with this search. All right. So this is just, look. Oh, look. So here's one. Literally, this has happened 26 seconds ago. So I just want to show you what's going on YouTube. Ever since we dropped this video, it's been going insane. All right. Here is from when I was on 1 Minute Apologist. We got a response from Children of Light. Literally, this just dropped 26 seconds ago. GMS Contrition and Key, who was just in the live chat, and I said he could come on if he wanted to, but instead he went and made a video, it looks like. So that's what he's been doing, if you guys haven't seen it. It looks like he went and dropped a video, but he won't come on the live, come on with me. And I said he could. Look, he dropped 2 videos. Boom, boom. Vocab Malone was set up to link us to terrorism. Vocab Malone was always set up to link us to terrorism. Agent Razor, Vocab Malone is a deceiver. GMS Kansas City. Vocab Malone, Rothschild Agent, the one you call God plays a race car. Shamar. And then people reposted the video. The wicked for the day, evil Vocab Malone. People reposting it. Vocab Malone is scared of these scriptures. Response to Vocab Malone, and there's last night's live stream. So they're just going, crazy putting these responses out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a lag. I guess it's not buffering. We're probably not going to look too much more at Larry Greene, but I want to circle back. There's D-News' cousin. And, sorry, it's kind of funny, right? I'm going to show you the little court thing where they talk real quick here. And then I'm going to check out your guys' is this the same clip? It looks like it's the same clip. I can't tell if it's the same clip. Let's watch these together real quick. And here's the last thing we're talking about, Larry Greene. So everyone understands. We've talked about two main things, okay? What we've talked about here tonight, and what I'm going to take your questions and do a freestyle here as well. So let's look at the live chat. What we've talked about here tonight is Larry Greene, who back in October pulled out a knife, lunged, and tried to stab 2 Jews, threatened to stab them to death, and talked about he was a real son of God, a real Hebrew, and told the fake Jews, that's his quote, to go back to Israel. And he said everyone he's a Hebrew Israelite who was homeless. Some of the people in the live chat said, oh, that's not possible. But I said, hey, man, some of these GMS dudes look like they're homeless. I'm just kidding, man. You know I love you, GMS. But, I mean, the fellow Hebrew Israelites be saying that about y'all. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make it impossible. Clearly, he was not a member of a camp. But I'm going to show you this one last time so you can see.
2 people because of their faith. The victims had just left a local synagogue when it happened. CBS 4's Joe Murray is live tonight in Sunny Isles Beach with what police say happened here. Joan?
Skip her.
Mr. Greene, good morning. You're being charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So it was a knife.
Larry Greene is accused of pulling out a knife and threatening Stefan Amar and... Notice
he shook his head, first of all. And second of all, I guess these are the 2 Jewish men he tried to go after. Notice, you know what I'm saying, they found the knife on him. So it wasn't just these dudes talking.
Mayor Ajoulay, who were walking along Collins Avenue Monday night. The 2 had left synagogue services wearing traditional yarmulkes on their heads when, according to Greene's arrest report, he yelled.
Oh, this is interesting. Someone could just get this high res, and we could have this official arrest report. Somebody do that for me, please. Could somebody do this? Get a super high res of this, take a screenshot, zoom in, and get the document. Because I don't really know how to get arrest documents. I mean, I've heard people talk about it, but could somebody grab this? I want to see what they say, if there's anything else Hebrew Israelite related in the arrest report. Somebody do that and send me the document like as a JPEG so we can zoom in on it.
Go back to Israel.
So they got
The
that
defendant
part.
raised the knife over his head, made threats to kill them, and lunged at one of the victims with the knife, raising imminent fear of death.
Amar and Ajale run a hotel and vacation rental management company. They were observing the Jewish religious holiday of Sukkot. Ajale told police he believed Greene would have tried to kill me or any Jewish person.
The defendant is listed as being homeless. He does have a prior from 2016, also aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Police said that was for threatening a gay man.
Mr. Greene is an extreme danger to this community, so I am going to do an increased bond on count 1 and on count 2. I'm going to set it at the $25,000 on both counts.
That's pretty high. All right, so there's that. Last news report. Oh, hold on. I'm going to show you guys that. I got something to get to you that's going to be very fascinating.
Two people outside of a local synagogue.
Oh, we already watched that one, didn't we?
Were attacked because of their faith.
Yeah, I think you already watched that one. Okay, while they're showing their little faces or whatever, I can't. I'm sorry. I have a weird aversion to news people, the way they look so fake. I can't stand looking at them. They look so fake, you know? I can't stand it. But anyways, I'm gonna show something now that is very, very interesting. Okay, very, very, very interesting. What it is I need to look at you guys for a second. I'm gonna stop playing. It's a little distracting. All this. Okay, this is very important. Do not go anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna look at you guys for a second and then go back to this. You remember the show I did called something like IUIC Cop Gets Fired or something like that? I don't remember exactly how it was titled. Somebody could look that up and see what it is. But I did some kind of live stream show where we talked about a police officer who, had been fired because he was seen with IUIC. But when I read the article, I made it very large. You know what I'm saying? Because I said fired. Technically, he had been put on leave at that time, and it was paid leave, or I don't know if it was unpaid or not. But he was put on leave. But it looked like they were probably going to fire him. But the story has now come to a resolution, and guess what? It came to a resolution December 13th. Huh. Well, guess what happened a few days before December 13th? Guess what happened? What happened a few days before December 13th? Everybody remember? Well, yeah, what we've been talking about. The other thing, the Jersey City shooting. Okay, happened December 10th. So I don't think it's any accident that right after that, this news story came out about the Greensboro police lieutenant who was seen with IUIC and then got put on leave by the department there in North Carolina, and now he is separated from it, meaning they let him go. I guarantee you this story had something to do with it. So I want to show you this because I think this is important to follow up on this as well. Okay, this shows you how your theology matters. Okay, apologetics matter because people's beliefs matter, and it affects people what they really do. So hold on, that's the last story I'm going to get to. Oops, I'm giving away what I'm showing you. That's the last thing I'm going to show you. I'm about to show you guys that next. Actually, I'm messing up. That's the last thing I'm going to show you. But you guys can see you got some important stuff coming up. So don't go anywhere. And by the way, as soon as I finish, in 40 minutes, I'm going to be on BK Apologist, my man Alfredo Valentin, his channel, discussing the debate with Bantu, right, and Brother Jabari about Kemet versus Christianity. So I'm going to be discussing that with them. Okay, Greensboro police lieutenant seen with hate group less than 2 months ago has been separated from department by chief's order. Clearly, this is the Greensboro.com, their newspaper there. Clearly, this happened after they saw that this went down. What? Do I have to fill out a survey just to read this? Oh, you guys frustrate me so much. Let me try to see if it'll just let me do it if I refresh. I don't want to fill out a survey to read your news story. This is why the mainstream media is so irritating. A Greensboro police officer is no longer employed by the department, the agency's spokesman said Friday, less than 2 months after the officer was seen at NCAT's homecoming organization, Southern Poverty Law Center, is deemed a hate group. Why do they always bring up the Southern Poverty Law Center like their gospel? Lieutenant Stacy Morton. Notice David Anderson, 47. Lieutenant Stacy Morton, 46. Notice, you know what I'm saying, Gen X is really get hit by hard by Hebrew Israelism. Separated by a special order signed Thursday by Chief Wayne Scott, said Ron Glenn, department spokesman. He said Morton did not resign. So he didn't resign. He was fired. Glenn would not discuss the circumstances behind the separation, but he said Morton has 10 days to appeal the chief's decision. Now, I got to tell you, I think Hebrew Israelism is a problem, right? It's ideology. But I got to tell you, I'm not real crazy about this. Now, I know some of you guys are going to disagree with me. What did Lieutenant Stacy Morton really do wrong? IUIC have shown themselves to be able to be responsible citizens in society. Again, I'm trying to be honest with this stuff, okay? It is what it is. No need to lie. Morton didn't do anything wrong. He has religious freedom to go if he wants to be at an IUIC meeting. I think it's a really bad idea, and I'd like to share the gospel with him, right? And maybe God can use this as a wake-up call, but actually I don't think it's fair. He didn't do anything wrong. Now, I guess some people are going to say, well, what if he was in the KKK? I don't look at the IUIC like I do the KKK. Some of you guys do, but guess what? IUIC has never went out and lynched people. They don't have judges in places of high authority who give black people extra harsh sentences and let white murderers off the hook. This happened, and every now and then still happens. I don't think he should be fired. Did he mess up on his job? Did he do something wrong in his job? Now, I get why they would do this, whatever. I just don't think it's fair. And what's going to happen is they're going to put these Hebrews-like groups in a strange position. I bet what's going to happen is certain people with certain jobs are going to be encouraged not to go to camp anymore. Now, that's probably ultimately a good thing, but I don't like achieving good results with bad ways. The ends don't justify the means, ladies and gentlemen. No, Dwight, the Hebrewites are not a terrorist group. Now, I know they say that that's what I'm saying about them. You got to understand. Here's Islam. Okay? Islam has an official dogma that is in the sources filled with commands for terroristic activity. It just is what it is, especially the Salafi variety. But you can be Shia. Look at the Iranian folks, right? And still get buck wild, right? That is part of it. And you've got official organizations. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, ISIL, Islamic State, two of the biggest ones, right? It's official. You know what I mean? These dudes are making Islamic rulings from Islamic jurisprudence and trying to be faithful in a really messed up way, okay? Hebrew Israelites, when they go do this, no one in their leadership told them to do it. The one exception I know of is Yahweh bin Yahweh, but they're long gone. That was in Miami, ironically enough. Who knows? Maybe Elijah Israel was in Yahweh bin Yahweh's group many years ago when he had a home. Who knows? And he was a younger man. Who knows, right? Hebrew Israelites is not a terrorist religion, terrorist group, terrorist organization. It's not even an organization. It's a movement or an ideology. It's spreading, and there's different groups within it. So if you wanted to, go after one particular one, honestly, I think it'd probably end up looking like the Day Shall Come. The Day Shall Come had kind of a quasi-Hebrews-like group, and the FBI totally screwed up the case. Now, it was a fictional movie, okay? It was based upon real events. I bet it would look something like that, where they back these guys into a corner. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm saying as of now. And even if there are Hebrew Israelites who are terrorists, it's an exception. Their leaders are not telling them to do this. Do you guys understand? Here's the problem, though. I do think that as Hebrew Israelism grows, you're going to get these what are called outliers, these rogue operators who say, I'm tired of waiting. So the ideology is still at fault, okay? I'm not letting Hebrew Israelism as an ideology off the hook. We got to be fair here, people. But I'm telling you, to just say all Hebrew Israelites are terrorists is totally unfair, not true, wrong, incorrect, and to go further and say just because you believe you're a Hebrew Israelite, you should be thrown in jail. Are you kidding me? People. We can't operate this way. If you say you're proud American or patriotic, do you think that's the kind of society America should be? Rounding up people because they have beliefs you don't like? No, they're not terrorists. And even if you hold to hardcore Salafi Islam, until you start planning to do something wild, we don't go after you. I do not want people rounding up Salafi Muslims just because. Now, what's a Salafi Muslim? They're so-called radical extremists. That really they're just conservative, orthodox, to be honest. Sometimes in the news they call them Wahhabis, but that's like a European thing to call them Wahhabis. They don't call themselves that. They call themselves Salafi. It means it has to do with the first generation, second generation of Muslims that hang out with Muhammad, right? And following what they did, their model, right? Yes, I think their ideology breeds the behavior similar to Islam sometimes. And I've done videos on it. But that doesn't mean we get to just round them up. All right? So, you guys need to really think about this. Old Hickory 12, I know that sometimes One West encouraged violence, but that's different than being a terrorist organization. You know what I mean? Again, we've got to really... Dwight, maybe you didn't, but someone else in the live chat did. Actually, you're not. I've seen a ton of comments. In the past 4 days, I've seen a ton of comments about rounding them up. Now, the funny thing is, there's a time where I was doing a freestyle, and in the freestyle, I joked. I said it with a smirk and a smile. I was clearly joking. I said, Hebrew Israelites need to go to jail. I joke. I was joking, and literally the next sentence out of my mouth, this isn't a freestyle, was, I'm just teasing. All right? Because in real life, that's not what I think. And I'm telling you guys that, okay? So let's just think about this, okay? The government is not the answer, people. You know what? Some of you guys are Christians in the audience. I'm going to tell you what. You know what I think, bro? You know what I think some of you Christians in the audience? I'm going to be honest right now. I think some of you Christians in the audience are lazy. You don't want to witness to people. You probably don't even love some of these people because they look different than you. You don't want to get your hands dirty. So you think the way to deal with the Hebrew Israelite ideology problem is have the government round them up and do away with them. That's not going to fix anything. They'll come after you next, first of all, because you believe in the Bible too, if you're a Christian, right? And second of all, the way to fix it is by witnessing and sharing the gospel. That's the way to deal with it, not relying on the government. We shouldn't be the one calling the cops on these folks unless something's really going down, okay? But let them call the cops on us like IUIC does, right? I just really, really want people to think this way. Nudist King says the same disdain you have for white supremacist ideology you should have for black supremacist. Who said I don't? Who said I don't? Where's you? Some of you guys are just going to get blocked. Some of you guys are just going to have to get blocked. You know, some of you guys are just gonna not be able to. So they let Morton go. I'll read this. Morton had been on paid administrative leave since mid-November during an internal affairs investigation. Police would not release details about the focus of that investigation. Sorry, my camera's in the way, so I have to do this to read. Glenn said Friday that the investigation has concluded. The administrative leave came just weeks after Morton was seen with members of Israel United Christ, a group of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. Who believes African Americans are the chosen people of God and the true descendants from the 12 tribes of Israel. According to the SPLC, the group is anti-police and believes white people are the devil. Now, it was funny a little bit because in the video, the dude's a cop and his leader's sitting there on the mic dissing the cops. It was kind of funny a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, group is believes white people's the devil, Jews are fake Jews, members of LGBT are sinners. You know, so they put that in there, so nothing to do with the article. Black Hebrew Israelite movement was in the news this week after police in New Jersey said that 57-year-old David Anderson, 57? What is wrong with you people in the media? You can't even get your basic facts right. Someone write these people. Leave a comment. He's 47. Gosh, you guys can't even basic facts right sometimes. Sorry, I'm on one tonight, people. That Red Bull that was infused with that raspberry flavor, let me finish it real quick. I'll have another. 57-year-old David Anderson expressed interest in the group and made both anti-police and anti-Semitic comments on social media posts before authorities said he and one fatally shot 4 people in Jersey City, New Jersey on Tuesday. The group also talking about Covington. SPLC, like they're the authority on everything. Morton's involvement with the group remains unclear, but he was seen throughout a 40-minute... He's a member, obviously. He's wearing the purple shirt. It's unclear. He's a member. He's going out with them. Hey, thank you, Mr. Phil Fox. That's why you're a guy who gets this channel, and you're the kind of Christian we need. To those who don't know, Mr. Phil Fox is a Native American. Brother, I hope you don't mind me telling you this. You've already said it publicly. Brother, could you say the tribe? I apologize. It was a tribe I had not heard of when you told me. Could you say the tribe that it was? And this brother does work on the reservations. This is a standout brother, and he supports what we're doing here. He's a man after my own heart, except I hope he's better than me. But shout out to you. That's exactly right. They are not the enemy. They're a Christian mission field. Amen, brother. All right. Members of the group preached the group's rhetoric to passersby throughout the video. That's not a fireable offense, people. Morton, Jr., Greensboro, New Place, March discharge 2000 hitting mansion. Now, you know, this is weird. I have something to say about this. You guys aren't going to like it. I'm glad a cop got in trouble for hitting a man on the chin during the arrest, but I got to tell you, I've seen cops do way worse to this and not get in trouble. I don't want to say this. I hope it's not true. Is the police force a little more quick to punish black officers when they rough up suspects than they are white officers? I hope that's not the case, but I've seen cops do way worse and get away with it. And I'm talking about with cameras and everything rolling, and he hits a man on the chin during. Okay, that's not good. I want cops to get in trouble when they punk people like this. Now, I didn't see the video, so I don't know what happened. Maybe that was necessary in this one instance. He got in trouble for it, okay. But that's had nothing to do with this now. That's dead and gone, right? He appealed his termination. It was overturned by the city manager. But, now look at this. Before Morton was put on leave last month, he oversaw the Vice and Narcotics Division. That's a big deal. Before he was like their PR guy, going out there doing the news stuff. That's a big deal that he was over that. Those folks do a lot. His annual salary was $81,900. This dude made $82K a year. You know he was paying some heavy ties to Nathaniel. Nathaniel's gonna be real upset. I guarantee you that IUIC is gonna have a new policy after this. That if you're in law enforcement, don't go out at camp. I guarantee you they're going to make that policy. Because Nate is a former cop himself, the leader of IUIC. They're very sensitive to this kind of stuff. And they want that money to come back into the camp. I bet you IUIC is going to tell their law enforcement people. Because guess what? I know for a fact, this is not from some secret probing. This is facts. We know by dealing with these guys. That IUIC has a disproportionate amount of cops and parole officers and especially prison guards. COs up in their mix. We know this, right? So that's going to hurt if those folks get kicked out of IUIC because they start terminating, which is not right. I still don't think it's right what they did to this man. I don't think it's right what they did to Morton, okay? I don't think it's right. If I could vote, I would say no. You know what I mean? But I know I'm not in charge of that. I bet you IUIC could do to change their policy. I guarantee you they're going to have an internal secret memo that's going to say, you guys stay back, you do this. They're going to have law enforcement officers do something different, like drive the van, sit in the van, guard the van, something like, I guarantee you. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to read, everybody. This is very important. It appears, now we don't know for sure, but it appears, perhaps, possibly, that a Muslim, now we don't know for sure if he's a Muslim, but he has a Muslim or Islamic or Middle Eastern name. And there's been some reports I've seen about him being linked to terrorism or something like that, but it's just not for certain, okay? So we don't know for sure yet, okay? But it appears that the Hebrew Israelites worked with, guess who? A Muslim on this. New Jersey man linked to Jersey City shooting. Suspect arrested on weapons charges. Now, I'm having trouble with my little screen here. It's not letting... Okay, finally. Jeez, I hate this lag. It's on the computer. It's not on the bandwidth, though. Ahmed Al-Ahadi, 35, was arrested after police found his contact information on David Anderson's pocket following the deadly attack on a kosher market. This is very interesting. This just came out. I'm going to read this, and then we're going to do the freestyle and get out of here. A New Jersey man was arrested Saturday on weapons charges after authorities said he was connected to a suspect in the deadly Jersey City shooting that officials have described as a potential act of domestic terrorism. A criminal complaint filed in U.S. U.S. District Court in Newark charged Ahmed Ahadi, 35, with being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun. All right. Shout out to whoever just gave the super chats, and it looks like somebody did. Okay, here. Let's okay, now this is a little better, even though there's that weird stuff on the side. Hadi was convicted in 2012 of attempting to obtain a controlled dangerous substance by fraud, the document says. So, not really a stand-up guy. Authorities found 6 guns and ammunition during a search of Hadi's home in a pawn shop in Kimport, south of Jersey City. The complaint says 3 AR-15 style rifles, 3 handguns, a shotgun, and 400 rounds of ammunition. It wasn't immediately clear whether Hadi worked at the pawn shop buy and sell. Investigators interviewed him and relatives there on Saturday, the complaint says. The person who answered the phone Sunday couldn't immediately speak to a reporter. Hadi's phone number and the pawn shop's address were found on a note in the pocket of Dana Anderson, 47, who authorities said targeted JC Kosher Supermarket, Jersey City, where 3 people were killed on Tuesday. Mindy Ferenz, 31, Moshe Deutsch, 24, and Douglas Miguel Rodriguez, 49. I'll see you in heaven, brother. The last guy. I don't know about the other 2. I'm not trying to be harsh. It is to the last brother. I think so. Anderson and another suspect, Francine Graham, 50, were found dead inside the market after an hours-long standoff with police. Authorities have said Anderson and Graham were also suspects in the killings of Jersey City Police Detective Joseph Fields and an Uber driver, Michael Rumberger, 34. New Jersey Attorney General Gruber told reporters that Anderson and Graham appeared to hold anti-Semitic and anti-law. We already know that. Okay. I'm trying to only read about this. Okay. The criminal complaint did not say why Hadi's contact information was in Anderson's pocket. Anderson was dead. How would they know that? Hadi allegedly told investigators that he needed some of the guns because I'm in this line of business. You need some protection. He allegedly told investigators that he had a license for the 2 guns. The complaint noted that as a convicted felon, he couldn't have a license. Now, we don't know if this guy is even Muslim or involved with terrorism, okay, for sure. We don't know that for sure. I've heard some other reports, but I'm not repeating them as fact right now because I do not know. All we know is his name, okay? He could just be a dude who's like maybe not a stand-up guy who traffics in weapons. All right, we don't know that. But that's fascinating. We're going to see how that develops. Now, with that, it's time to close the show with a freestyle. And then I'm going to go to BK Apologist channel. Hey, yo. Can you guys please make sure that you go ahead and drop the link for BK Apologist channel in the live chat? Because that's where I'm going to be next, y'all. Time to close this joint out. Thank you for coming to Street Apologist Live, ladies and gentlemen. You know how we do. Yeah, got the SA squad. Yeah. Now I rap for God. Yeah. Try to get the level right. Yeah. Now I rock that mic. Got the appetite to eat up a beat. So bring it that beat. Now move your feet. Rip the concrete. I be discreet. It's Vocab Malone. Don't betray with a kiss on the cheek like Judas. Do this. Stand stiff like I was a Buddhist statue. Coming after you. Reading book of Acts chapter 2. Woo-hoo. How you do? Like the woo. You know, we say Sue. I got that beat. With the real life drum, gump wanna be red rum. Murder the track, and that's a fact. Hear the ill boom back, got the dog in the back. He's kinda big, he be sitting on my lap, but then it gets hairy, vocabulary. Kinda scary what's going on in Jersey City. It's like a song that Anderson made was real scary. Peep it out now, how did he dare he to grab the AR-15? I tell you, he didn't believe in hell, dude. Hey, yo. Salvation, you believe in reincarnation. Okay. Sorry. I'm just kind of messing up a little bit there. All right, let's keep on. Let's do this for real. Back on the scene. Peter 315. Know what I mean? Don't use an AR-15 in the Mistine like a Sistine Chapel. Now I grab the mic and I raffle. Don't wear a tassel. Vocab Malone, I'll be a vassal, maybe a vessel. Keep it out now. Jesus the Christ coach is better than Trestle Gym, but we still gonna win. Get to heaven, I see the gems shining, diamond. Now I'm rhyming from the mining, so divining. You know I'm finding, I'm rewinding the security footage in my real-time live stream. What's up to the team? Street team in the place, don't be obscene. My squad, you know they gonna gonna get ya. Grab that button, remove, they hit ya. Don't mean to diss ya, but keep it kosher. Vocab Malone, I'm just like Oprah, hosting a show, but I don't gotta know. Spit this flow, 1, 2, 3, 4. How much longer do we got to go? 50 seconds, about that or so. Got 100 people up in here tonight. Hey, yo, that's good. Catch me at the next place I'm going, which is over there with Alfredo BK Apologist and Adam Coleman. They'll be talking about the BK, the Bantu debate with my man Jabari on Kemet versus Christianity. Right out, enjoy this beat. Street Apologist Live, where we make apologetics fun again. And don't forget, I'm gonna be on Dr. Brown's show tomorrow. Dr. Michael Brown be on his channel tomorrow, his show, Line of Fire. So check that interview out. 3:30 East Coast time will be on Dr. Brown's show, ladies and gentlemen. Discuss Hebrew Israelites. And right now, go over to BK Apologist, Alfredo Valentin's channel. Peace out. Make apologetics fun again.